What I do know is that the people in the next 10 years that are going to do exceptionally well are people that do not have to be comfortable. They'll be very, very okay with an environment that's really almost new. The trend is your friend. This is a saying from markets for years and decades. I've heard this phrase, the trend is your friend. And the concept is, hey, when a market's going up or it's going down, you can rationalize it, you can justify it, you can build cases why it's wrong. These markets have the ability to be wrong far longer than most people can remain solvent. You know, the guy Burry, Bill Burry, or who's the guy that shorted the Michael Burry shorted the shit out of the 2008 housing market. The story most people don't ever talk about with Burry is he almost went broke, dude. Like he came this close to getting squeezed out of the trade because the government and all of the firms that were doctoring their books were basically allowed to doctor them forever and ever and ever. You get a bunch of ZIRP, zero interest rate money, and then you get quantitative easing. I mean, Burry almost got buried. So he was right in the long term. I've seen people be right in the long term, but be short in the short term. So when a market's going against you, the trend is your friend. You can't fight that trend. And for instance, Bitcoin right now is on a move. The trend looks like it's up. I don't know why anyone would start to try to fight this, but there are people out there that don't want to see a $70,000 Bitcoin. So they're going to try to fight this. There'll be some losses. I think there'll be a lot of losses, actually, because people will resist this. And then what they'll do is as soon as they capitulate, the trend will accelerate. It will go even further than possibly it should have gone in the first place. So the trend is your friend. If a market's going down, a market tends to continue to go down until it doesn't. You know, someone was saying to me the other day, the 2021 vintage of investments in the tech world were done at extreme levels. I know one company that raised money at $6.8 billion valuation, and they were doing maybe $150 million of revenue. Total revenue, not income, total revenue. Now that trend where you have tons of shareholders coming into the blockchain, crypto, reporting, analytics world. Let's take a company like Chainalysis. Everybody and their brother wanted to buy Chainalysis, and that will continue. That trend is your friend. You have to be very careful with this phrase. The trend is your friend. There is a comma until it's not, okay? And I was looking at a deal today, a Walgreens property with a 16% cap rate. People are wondering why this 16 cap rate sitting there. Walgreens piece of real estate, I can make 16% a year. I have a 4-year contract with General Dollar or Walgreens, or one of them, for 4 years. And that's awesome, okay? But like this property is not being sold. Now you can make 16% a year just because of cap rate basically tells you what you're going to make. A cap rate of 16% tells me it's too high, right? That's a ridiculous return. Something is wrong. That property is not selling at a 16% cap rate. Most likely it's because the tenant, in this case, it was Dollar General, has a 4-year contract, but are you going to bet the Dollar General is going to be in business 4 years from now? Because I ain't betting that. In fact, I'm not betting that there'll be any regional banks around in 4 years. I mean, none. All these buildings that are built like Walgreens, CVS, regional banks, they all kind of have the same footprint. The regional bank's going to be a lot smaller, but you have Walgreens that are supposed to be convenience stores, right? A hybrid convenience store. Dude, you have to have a lock to get some shaving cream. That's no longer a convenience store. You might as well just buy everything on Amazon. Amazon's got to be a big winner from all these small retails, decentralized franchises that are on steroids, okay? They're literally franchises that have been turned into public entities, and they're expecting huge returns. Walgreens and CVS do not make this cut. In fact, I don't think any decentralized building structures, and this is why I get to the regional banks, how does it possibly make sense to have a $3 million building, 10,000 square feet sitting in the best part of town? No one's going into these banks, okay? Like, there's no commerce there. You have maybe 30 people walking into a bank to get a check, $10. This is not sustainable in a digital world. So all those regional banks, all the buildings, all the energy that serves those buildings, one of the most non-ESG friendly things I've ever seen in my life. They build these brand new buildings, 10,000 square feet. They're going to sit there for years. They're going to pay taxes, and there's no commerce being done there. So I know I'm bouncing around, but if you start relating this trend as your friend until it's not, I think we have an entire construct, 20th century construct, that is really, really, really being challenged. Okay, that the old world, the Walgreens model, hey, let's put up 3,000 shops across America and let's sell as much product as we can, and we're going to retain this margin. The margin is collapsing. Okay, everyone that could possibly make money on Walgreens and CVS has made money. That would be the credit card companies, the banks, the lenders, the debt providers, right? And then you have the consumers who are broke, right? Standing in line to buy water that's been marked up because Walgreens is there. I mean, Walgreens isn't even making these products. This is a distribution unit. They are a franchise. Another trend, trend that you don't want to like break is, or you want to observe this trend, is when your assets, your intellectual capital that is coming in to run these Walgreens is degrading by the semester. Okay. Like when I walk into a Walgreens and the cashier can't even look at me, can't communicate, treats me like I shouldn't even be there. This is no longer convenience shopping. Okay. This is, I don't even want to go there, but I need some soap. So I don't think these models are going to work. I think they're going to break, and having 30 people standing at a store in St. Petersburg, Florida, pretending like they're getting 40 hours a week. They're not getting 40 hours a week. They're probably not getting 32 hours a week. They're the lowest educated people in the entire food chain. And we have them providing services to consumers who are driving their vehicles, using gasoline to park in a lot that used energy, that built a building that used energy. And very few people are actually in the store. And when you do go in the store, you can't get service by anyone that can speak English. I don't get it. Okay. They don't even know what's in the ingredients of these products. So we have a paradigm here that seems to be breaking apart. And this is why I get so, like, when I run through every one of these scenarios, dude, I get so excited about digital because the trend that I am seeing, the whole 19th and 20th century construct is falling apart. And that's a trend that I'm going to play. Okay. This is why I can get so heavily invested in Bitcoin, because it is so obvious to me none of these models are working. I will pay someone, and I know I say this sometimes, but I do it to make a point. I would pay someone $10,000 in cash to come on with me for 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever you want, on TV and debate any construct you want to pull up, from religion to medical to counseling to any business. I don't think any business from the 20th century. In fact, I don't believe any construct from the 20th or 19th century survive the next decade. I think that they all get that. That's like NATO, the EU construct, all the alliances made in the 20s, in the 20th century. They're all falling apart. $10,000, I give it to you. I'll give it to your kids. I'll give it to a charity of your choice, just to come on TV with me, a platform like this, and debate what is working. Because I think there's a lot of people out there between the ages of 50 and 25 that may enter industries that will literally won't be here in 3 years. And I would be looking at, where is the puck going? You know, they asked Gretzky, that great hockey player, hey, how do you play the game so well? And he said, I focus on where the puck's going, not where the puck is. So I would encourage you to do that with your career. I would encourage you to do that with any trade. Oh, by the way, if you're in a Bitcoin trade, you're in a US dollar trade, you're in NVIDIA, you're in the FANGs, whatever, there does come a point where the trend is no longer your friend. You really need to know that when that turn has occurred, because that's where a lot of losses happen, when somebody just gets stuck on a trade and they can't get out of it. And I see a lot of this tribalism, this very concrete thinking in the digital space. I hear this frequently, where people are, hey, I really like this company, so I'm going to invest. And I'm like, yeah, but their chart sucks. XRP's chart sucks. I'm sorry, man. Okay. Cardano chart sucks. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at this. Matic sucks. Like, I don't know why you guys would get so married to some of these because you like their story. Everyone's got a story, man. Okay? Good people have a story and bad people have a story. Psychopaths have a story and non-psychopaths have a story. So everyone's got a story. It doesn't make money. Stories don't make money unless you can sell those stories. So what I do know is that the people in the next 10 years that are going to do exceptionally well are people that do not have to be comfortable. They'll be very, very okay with an environment that's really almost new, that you have to look at it with a different framework. And this is why I say, hey, the trend is your friend until it's not. We have a very large number of until it not moments. Okay. I mean, like, we have a lot of those happening right now. And when system changes, you know, a lot of people will say, hey, the system's failing. System is not failing. The system is mutating. Okay. It's mutating to solve the future problems. So this isn't about right or wrong. This is about the evolution of a market. People should not start thinking about this as being right or wrong. It just is. Okay. And money has a tendency to just sort many things out. And by money, I mean how things gravitate toward an environment. And economics have a really cool way of sorting issues out. So I don't just chase the money. I kind of chase the trend of what's getting ready to happen. And I think this is why I'm so excited about digital, because there's just so much to do in this space. And there'll be very few people who actually can do extremely well in an environment that doesn't have a lot of rails around it, right? Like, this is a new business. You don't really know where it starts, where it ends, what the lines are. It's a little gray. Many people aren't comfortable in that grayness. So I am, and that it'll be great for me, and that will never change my whole life. I will be very comfortable with this kind of discomfort. So that's my views on the trend is your friend until it's not. One example, for instance, media, mainstream media, there is no end to this. Okay. The trend is you could short the shit out of CNN right now. This would be a great trade. CNN just took a $10 billion write down in one quarter. I do not see how mainstream media recovers from this. Okay. We have a lot further to go. We need to see CNN claim bankruptcy. Fox gets off the news. And then they'll start, you know what they'll do? Guarantee you, if I do this every day, this is what I was thinking, Sam. If I did this every day for an hour, went live, and we probably should, I will get a note from CNBC, Fox News. Hey, we want you to come do a show. Guarantee you do. Guarantee you that we'd get paid a lot of money to do it, because there's not going to be people that can do this, dude. There are so few people that have content. Me and Yusko were talking about this yesterday. There's no content. People are making stuff up, right? The day of the interviewer is done. The day of Anderson Cooper getting $20 million to put powder on his face, get in front of a $7 million platform, a studio that they got to change every 3 or 4 years to remain relevant. I think CNBC spent $100 million. The math here is so bad, dude. Like, you can't spend $100 million, and me and Sam, what do you think I spent on it? 30 grand? 30 grand, man, and my time. Okay, but Anderson Cooper's never going to do this. Don Lemon's never going to do this. You know why? They can't. Don Lemon has no content other than him sucking on whatever he likes and his cocaine binging. He has no content, man. He interviews people that are relevant at the time of the news stream. For me, I'm interested in interviewing and having conversations with people that are building this country back. There's so many opportunities here. So, and there's a trend. Okay, America has to rebuild itself. I mean, 0 options. Now, we can decide to take all this money to Ukraine and rebuild the Ukraine. We are literally falling apart right here. So there's a trend that we need to reverse rapidly. Anyway, I'm really excited about the next 10 years because I think people are pissed off, and you should be pissed off, because the people who have been serving us talk about the friend is your trend. They have been not friendly to us at all. They've actually been our enemies. And those are the guys we need to get out of office, get out of political office, get out of our business world, and reset. Otherwise, entire countries are going to take massive market share from us if we're not careful. And I think we've already not been very careful. We've been actually stupid. It almost looks at this point intentional to harm America. So I hate to say that, but it sure looks that way. Anyway, the trend is your friend until it's not.